1, 2, 3. Welcome back to Music with Ryan. Thanks for joining me. It's Rhythm Month here at Music with Ryan, the month of May, and this is the second lesson I have. I'm going to do about 7 or 8 lessons this month, all involving your rhythm playing and getting better and adding energy and strumming patterns and bass walks and you name it. We're going to cover it here at my site. And so again, like I said, this is the second lesson, and we got rhythm walks in the key of G. Exercise number 1. As you just saw and heard, I played through a very common chord progression, a 1-4-5-1 chord progression, and each time through I did a little bit different, right? I added some bass walks in certain spots, changed up the strumming pattern to add a little bit more energy, and even got out of strumming just a little bit there at the end, over top of the 5 chord. You know, even stepping out of just straight strumming to help, again, kind of add some energy at the end of the phrase. So we'll talk about all that, a little bit about voice leading as well, why we're doing some of these things. So if you'd like to purchase the full-length version, you can click the link below or above and it'll shoot you onto my website. And there you can do so. It'll come with about 30 minutes of video, PDF tabs, and 4 backing tracks to help you work your speed up. And if you really like the way I teach and approach learning, you can be a member at my site. There should be another link down there. And for a yearly or monthly fee, access my entire library of over 350 lessons at the site. I have 3 courses and a video exchange program. A lot of great features for a premier member. So for now, we're going to start walking through this lesson a little bit and give you a taste of how it's going to go. Again, it's Rhythm Month here at Music with Ryan. Hop on board, get on the mailing list, check out the lesson, and we're going to be posting many more like this throughout the month. And all dedicated to improving your rhythm playing. So here we go. Thanks for watching. All right, so let's go ahead and start breaking down rhythm walks in the key of G here, exercise number 1. And we have a 1-4-5 chord progression. Okay, so G, C, D, kind of 2 measures of each. Actually, 1, 4, 5, back to 1, and then it starts over. So I kind of do 3 times through this progression. And a lot of it is kind of basing off of the alternate bass strumming pattern. So if you're familiar with kind of that boom chicka boom style pattern, and kind of, again, it's kind of the framework for everything. And then of course we're doing much more than that as we, get more creative. So let me go ahead and break down these first few measures here for you. And they sound like this. I'm going to do that again there. I missed beat 3, 2, ready, go. All right, so some basic stuff right here the first time through. Measure 1, we're going to be plucking the low note. 3rd fret the G note, and then bounce it off the D note and strum. So that's just alternate bass strumming measure. And then measure 2, we pluck that low note again, we strum, and then we do 2nd fret of the A. And this is kind of like a G/B there. It's not marked. I suppose I could put it there, but we're essentially implying that the B note there on the 2nd fret of the A is the bass note. Okay, and then this gives us some type of voice leading here. Okay, when I'm playing with other musicians, and I hear someone do this move, they put the B in the bass like that. It sounds to me they're leading me, voice leading me to the 4 chord. Okay, in this case the C. So this is one example here of, voice leading.
onto the C chord. Pluck the A string 3rd fret, we strum, then a 0-2 hammer on the D, and a strum. Okay, and pay close attention to, a few things, but notice that when I strum, when I do those down ups on those 8th notes that are connected, right? Those 2 8th notes are connected by a beam. I am, just strumming the highest sounding 3 strings, 3 or 4. Sometimes I hit 4, but the G, the B, and the E. Okay. And when I strum, I'm usually trying to shoot for just those 3 strings. That kind of cleans things up. Sometimes I'll strum across all my strings. But in this particular exercise, and a lot of times in this style, we're going to just kind of shoot for the highest sounding 3 strings, okay? G, B, and E. And again, if you get the kind of the D in there, it's all right. It's not the end of the world if you hit more. It just kind of cleans things up, though. And notice too, when I strum them, when I hit the strings, I have kind of equal weight against all 3 strings on the down and the up. It sounds nice and even, and no string is being, kind of punctuated, so to speak. Like the high E, I hear a lot of students say, oh, the high E just won't go away. I feel like that's all I hear. Well, we got to focus our strumming on a nice, clean, even strum on all 3 of those with equal weight across those strings. Equal weight in the right hand on the down and on the up. Okay, that's just sounding nice when we're strumming. That's what it kind of comes down to. We want to sound nice. All right, so with those things in mind, let's move along here. 4, 5, and 6 sound like this. And add a little G run in there at the end. So measure 4, I'm over the top of the C chord still. I play an open G note, I strum, I play the D note, 2nd fret, D string, 2nd fret, that's an E note, and then I strum. So I'm kind of alternating the bass, but in a little bit of a different way, right? I'm at the 5, and the 3 of that chord, of course. And then I go to the measure 5. It's the D, and it's just the alternate bass strumming here. Pretty basic in measure 5. Open D, strum, open A, strum. And then I do a nice little quarter note run down to the G chord. So open D, 3rd fret A, 2nd fret A, open A, and then the downbeat of the G chord right there, G note. And then I'll do a strum. That's the measure exactly. So that little walk. A little sloppy there at the end. So I'll back up, measure 4. Let's talk about measure 7, because there's a tie in there, right? You see the tie, the note in parentheses is not being played, is being tied over to or held, okay? So it's a quarter note tied to an 8th note. You hold for the duration of those combined. So it's a beat and a half. And what happens is we're going to add a little energy to the playing here. We're going to just here's how it goes. 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's a quarter note on the 2nd fret of the D string right there. And that's kind of the start of my G run. It's kind of just a shortened version, very simplistic version. And don't stop your right hand from moving. I talk a lot about this in the first lesson for the Rhythm Month of May here in the free member area. If you haven't checked that out, go to the free member area. Talk about playing in the pocket with time, with groove, and with energy. And one thing I mentioned is keeping the right hand moving. Okay, always moving back and forth no matter what. It's just we're choosing when to, actually hit strings or strum strings. So if you watch my right hand and measure 7, okay, it's very controlled in that upstroke. I'm not doing too much. And of course, measure 8 is an open G, so kind of finishing that G run off there. So everything is really fluent in the right hand, and that's just a lot of it with the rhythm playing, is just being fluent in the right hand, relaxed. And I also talk about how to really feel the underlying pulse that kind of occurs in this bluegrass style. Form of boom chicka boom. It's a little bit more. I wouldn't necessarily do that all the time, but that's kind of, again, the underlying feeling. Okay, and you can, again, check that out in the free member area. There's more about that in depth. So, but I want to continue on with this. So again, that measure 7. Okay. All right, so let's move on. Measure 8. 1, 2, 3.